What is up, guys? It's Carter. We're back. We're talking Cats today, as per usual. And we got an interesting development around 4 o'clock on Sunday. CJ Jones is officially back at Kansas State. The 2024-25 guard had entered the transfer portal in the spring, and he's officially back with the Cats. He's back at K-State. He played just one season this past season, and he had entered his name in the transfer portal. He was one of the later entries into the transfer portal on K-State's roster, but he decided, I guess, K-State and him came to an agreement, and he's going to be back with the Wildcats. So I know this is going to be a controversial opinion. I like CJ, though, and I need to get that out there first because I need to speak my thoughts on him because, I mean, that's the whole point. That's half the point of me making this video, right? I like CJ. He's not a starter, right? He's probably not going to be getting a bulk of the minutes, especially with this incoming roster, which we'll also get into. Don't you worry. But I like him. I think he's a good off the bench kind of guy. You know, I like watching him play. There were several times during the season when I went to games and people around me were like, "Oh boy, here comes CJ," and CJ would do something cool, and I'm like, "Yeah, CJ." You know, like I don't know. I really like CJ. I like watching him play. I know that's a controversial opinion, but I want to get it out there because it probably is going to influence what I say next. So I need to just get my honest thoughts to you so you can interpret my next words with that in mind. CJ Jones last season averaged, he's a guard, he's a combo guard averaging 5.7 points, 1.7 rebounds, 1.5 assists on a 40% field goal percentage. I mean, it's nothing spectacular. Again, he's an off the bench guy. He averaged, I'm looking at the wrong stats here. He averaged about 19 minutes per game. He had a few double digit games. So, I mean, he's not a bad player. I think, again, this is me just getting my honest thoughts out here. I think people like over dramatize like CJ's skill per se. I don't think he's as bad as people make him out to be. I don't think he's this horrible ball player who shouldn't be on a D1 roster. Now, does it maybe speak volumes to the fact that he didn't land on a different squad and he is coming back to K-State? Maybe. Did K-State maybe figure out what the hell they're doing with recruiting and they somehow figured out how to work with CJ Jones and sold him a vision that he might build up to be a better player and that his best shot at getting to the NBA was staying with Kansas State and developing? I think that's more likely. But I just don't think like the CJ, I feel like a lot of the CJ Jones hate is very forced. And I don't think it's necessary. Now, that being said, I do wonder where his spot on this roster is going to be next year. Kansas State already had a decent amount of guard depth last season. I feel like it's a lot deeper this season. Of course, you got the headliner, PJ Haggerty, from Michigan, averaging 20 points a game. I mean, he's obviously going to be the point guard. He's going to be chewing up a lot of the minutes. Bashir obviously will probably be getting a lot of the minutes too, I would imagine. You also got Nate Johnson. You also, I would assume Moby's probably going to get more minutes. I know he's listed as a guard, but I feel like he plays like a forward. I disagree with Kansas State listing him as a guard, but because he plays like a forward to me. Every time I see him play, he plays like a forward. Anyway, I know you guys aren't asking for my opinion on what position Moby is, but when I was looking stuff up for this, that's kind of what crossed my mind. And then you got Xavier Wilson, which I don't imagine he'll play much. He's a freshman incoming. And I assume David Castillo will probably get more minutes too. So I just wonder where CJ fits into the scheme. K-State also has a ton of forward talent coming in. So I almost wonder if there's going to be some different schemes rolling with this next squad, or, if they are going to run another 3-guard kind of rollout, then CJ might get more minutes. I mean, who knows, right? But in my opinion, I really do wonder where CJ falls on this roster, how Kansas State sold him on a vision to come back. What kind of minutes he's going to get. I guess that's my only head scratcher. Like, you hope for the player's sake that they're not going to ride the bench, obviously. And I don't think CJ will ride the bench. I mean, if he's already getting minutes on last year's squad, I would imagine he's probably going to get minutes on this year's squad. But I do just wonder where his role with this Kansas State upcoming squad is going to be. That's really all. That's my only like big question mark about what inspired this decision and how the coaching staff got him to return. Again, maybe it was just, CJ couldn't find anywhere else and, maybe realized that Kansas State was probably the best option he had. And, if he ends up playing 5 or 10 minutes, he gets a developmental year and then he can go get a better NIL deal somewhere else and get more and get starting minutes. Or, maybe he stays until his senior year and he really develops his junior year and he'll be a stud. I don't know. I see either scenario is very possible, but I guess that's the biggest question mark. What will CJ do this season? And that's all I got. So that's the news. CJ Jones is back. I believe Kansas State pretty much just needs a center at this point to fill out its roster. I'm pretty sure the Cats are filled out pretty much everywhere else. So will be interesting to see what happens there. There's rumors of maybe a Euro center coming in. So we'll keep an eye on that. Follow me on my Twitter. I'll keep you guys updated. If I don't post to YouTube, I'm always posting over there. So make sure to follow me there. And that's all I got for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.